What you're seeing now is not a complete episode of Dragon Ball Shinken, just a small update to the story so fans don't have to wait too long. Stay tuned for this preview now, and soon you'll see the complete episode made with all of our dedication. Episode 35, Killing Machines, Part 4. After the Campari fortress explodes, Cell Ultra reveals himself in the smoke, carrying Android 21 by the neck. Looking down at everyone present on the battlefield, he says that the time has come for all of them to feel true despair. Despite his body being very injured due to the many blows he suffered from Vegito, Campari is filled with joy when he sees the android that has just appeared. Amid laughter, he mocked his enemies, saying that despite all their efforts, in the end his plans ended up coming true. Vegito can only think about his daughter, Bola, who was inside the fortress. And what Vegito doesn't know is that inside Android 21 is Bulma, his wife, who was absorbed by the android so that her intelligence could be used to finish the Cell Ultra project faster. Gogeta, on the other hand, can tell that Bulma is inside Android 21. When he looks at her, he notices this thanks to Shinken's extremely accurate senses. What the hell is going on here? He wonders. Gogeta already knew Cell thanks to the experiences Goku and Vegeta had with him. But Vegito apparently didn't know Cell, which means that in this dimension, Goku and Vegeta never faced Cell. Vegito begins to release his ki with incredible intensity, emanating his power of destruction with terrifying power. His anger is all directed at Cell as he asks how this bastard dares to kill his daughter. Even with Vegito showing terrifying power, Cell looks at him with a disdainful smile and says that someone like him doesn't care about trash. Vegito can't contain his fury. He projects himself towards Cell in an explosion of power, reaching extraordinary speed and preparing an extremely powerful punch. Wait, Vegito! Gogeta screams when he realizes something. As if Android 21 were a piece of trash, Cell throws her away and prepares to receive Vegito's attack head-on. Vegito's punch, carrying titanic power, hits Cell's forearm, generating a gigantic explosion of energy. Gogeta quickly teleports to Android 21 and grabs her to protect himself and the android with an energy shield. After the explosion, Vegito, who was previously completely blinded by his anger and not considering any consequences, now shows an expression of surprise when he sees that his punch was perfectly blocked by Cell without even generating any sign of effort on his face. Intending to provoke Vegito, Cell says that his blow wasn't bad, but that he will need much more than that. Although surprised by the enemy's strength, Vegito does not shy away. He moves away and begins to concentrate even more power, ready to continue the fight. Before Vegito makes any other move, Gogeta comes to his side carrying Android 21 on his lap, and he says that inside this woman's body are Bulma and Bola. This information positively surprises Vegito, who, now paying attention to the android, actually notices Bulma and Bola's ki in her. Why are they inside this android? Vegito asks. Campari heads to Cell's side and then answers Vegito's question. I have a lot to thank that woman called Bulma, because it was thanks to her that Android 21 had enough intelligence to finish Cell Ultra. And not only was she able to finish Cell much faster, she also finished him even more powerful than I imagined. But after saying these things, Campari becomes thoughtful and admits, about that Saiyan girl inside 21, I frankly don't know why, since her only use would be to give your genes to Cell Ultra, so there was no reason to save her. When Campari raises this question about Bola, Cell says that at the moment he was finished, the accumulation of energy was so great that an explosion was inevitable. But for some reason the android didn't want to allow Bola to die, so instead of her running away, she simply absorbed the girl to keep her protected inside her body. This makes Campari curious, but Gogeta already understands everything and says that Bulma's consciousness inside the android certainly made her save Bola. He explains it better. I've never seen this woman in my life that you call Android 21, but she seems to have similar genes to Majin Buu, and from what I know about Majin Buu's absorption technique, he also ends up acquiring part of consciousness and feeling from whom he absorbed. In other words, when she absorbed Bulma, this android ended up not only inheriting her intelligence, but some of her feelings as well. Gogeta says that he is a little curious to know more about this unknown woman, and also how an android that has Majin Buu's genes came to be. However, that can be left for later, since at this moment moment, they have more important things to focus on. For now, the only thing that matters is that Bola and Bulma are safe, and also the enemies in front of us, he completes. Gogeta makes Android 21 disappear from his arms with a teleport, sending her to another dimension. Then he does the same for Gohan, pointing his hand in the direction of the area where he had fallen, defeated after the fight against Campari, and using distance teleportation to get him out of there. Vegito is very relieved to know that his daughter and wife are safe, but one thing still intrigues him a lot. The only thing that sticks in my head is the part where the angel talks about Bola giving my genes to this guy, he says. Looking closely at Cell, Gogeta realizes that many different genes make up his structure, and it seems that among the many genetic data present in this android, Vegito's are included. It appears that the purpose of your daughter's kidnapping was to give this android your genetics, Gogeta says. This angers Vegito, who says that Campari will pay for this. Campari magically summons his staff, and using its magic, completely heals himself from all the injuries that Vegito had caused to his body. After doing this, the angel says that now Cell Ultra is ready. They can no longer stop his plans, since Cell's power surpasses even that of the angel. Looking closely at the android, Gogeta realizes that he also has angel gene. Did you give him your genes too? What is the point of this? Gogeta asks, surprised. The angel says that he doesn't need to tell them his plans, since they won't even live to see it. From one moment to the next, Cell attack. The first target is Vegito, who receives both of the android's feet in the middle of his chest, and he is pushed very far away. Next up is Gogeta, who is attacked with an ultra-powerful punch, which he blocks with both arms, but is charged with Cell's hands, pressing his arms against his chest. With Gogeta's arms pressed against his chest, Cell sees his upper body vulnerable, and he takes this chance to deliver a slashing blow to chop Gogeta's head off, but is completely surprised when Gogeta shrinks his head into the body as if he were a turtle. And Cell's astonishment is even greater when Gogeta makes his head appear from inside his own chest to shoot a wave of energy from his mouth that hits the android directly in the middle of the chest. But the person who is also impressed is Gogeta, when Cell opens a hole in his own body to let the energy wave fired by him pass straight through. At the same time that Cell's body returns to normal, Gogeta's head also returns to its place. The way you distorted your body, that's Majin Buu's ability, isn't it? Gogeta asks. Yes. Android 21's genes is also present in my body. Cell Ultra responds and then asks, but what about you? I have Saiyan genes in my body, and as far as I know, Saiyans are not capable of doing what you just did. Gogeta explains. Normally, Saiyans don't do this. However, I am an exception. I possess a special knowledge called Shinken, which gives me such enhanced control over my own ki that I am able to do almost anything with my body and energy. When Cell hears this, he becomes very curious and says that Gogeta seems to be a very interesting opponent. Taken by this excitement, Cell says he wants to see how far this special knowledge called Shinken goes. As he concentrates his energy, Cell catches Gogeta's attention when he begins to reflect a bluish glow on his body, which soon after manifests itself in the form of a powerful aura of blue energy, which Gogeta immediately recognizes as being Super Saiyan Blue. Can you use divine transformations? Incredible! He exclaims, excited. Seized by great fury, Vegito returns to Cell, flying at full speed and ready to land a direct blow on him. But Gogeta stops him by getting in his way. When Gogeta does this, Vegito gets very angry and asks him what he is doing. Gogeta says that he will fight Cell and that Vegito should focus on Campari and avenge the kidnapping of his wife and daughter. Even though he's a little reluctant, Vegito ends up agreeing. When Vegito starts flying towards Campari, Cell tries to stop him by teleporting in front of him and throwing a punch at the Saiyan. However, Gogeta also makes a teleportation, going in front of Cell to hold his punch and then taking them both away with the teleportation. With that, Vegito heads towards the angel with a very strong punch, but which Campari defends by interjecting with his forearm. Get ready, Angel, because I'm going to make you suffer a lot for what you did to Bola and Bulma, the Saiyan threatens. That's what we're going to see, the Angel responds.